In today's training, we will be going over MyJohnDeere.com and the John Deere Operations Center. To get to MyJohnDeere.com, open your web browser and navigate to www.myjohndeere.com. You will sign in with a unique username and password, which you will set up on your own or with assistance from the John Deere dealer. Once you have signed into MyJohnDeere.com, you will be on the dashboard. This dashboard will look different for customers than it does for dealers because there are different options for different people here. But for the most part, we will be going in using the Operations Center. There is also Stellar Support and JD Link, which will give us some good machine health information available. When you click onto the Operations Center, it will open up a page for your operation, showing your maps, your fields, your equipment, and your operation. We start off with a map zeroed in on your farm, your location. We have the ability to turn on weather, which will overlay radar on top of our map as well as give us wind and temperature information. By clicking on the image of a field, it will bring up an information window. This will give us acres planted in the last operation. Click on the I button and it will show us all the information that we need for this field, our client, our farm, our field. We can even edit what farm and field this belongs to. We have guidance management where you can see which AB lines or AB curves are saved for that field. In boundary management, we can add boundaries or we can delete boundaries that are no longer valid for that field. We have the ability to send a job task to a specific machine. For instance, if you had a seeding operation going to that tractor, we could set it up here and send it to that machine. There is a merge function built right into and an unmerge function so that if you have field names with information on them that do not pertain to that field, you can merge or unmerge as needed. The next handy device in this information block is the field analyzer. Clicking on that will bring up that specific field. On the left you see a bunch of information: total yield, average moisture, area worked, for the map that you're looking at. As you can see on the upper left, it's 2015 soybean harvest. Now on the bottom, this is a timeline. You'll see to the right is 2016, to the left is 2014, and we're looking at 2015. There's an application map, another application map, and a seeding map for the crop season 2015. I can look ahead to 2016 or go back to 2014 as needed. Now this is in the overview section. I also have the ability to compare two different things in this field. So for instance, on the left side, I can pick a crop season or a map that I want to compare to something in the right. So I'll pick 2010 soybean harvest and compare that to the 2015 soybean harvest. I can also do an average of any of the information you have in here. Now this is where it becomes important to have your Apex historical data backed up into MyJohnDeere.com for these analysis tools. As you can see, all of the past crop seasons information is stored right here in this easy to access section. Now from here then we can go one step further and open up a difference map where I can compare two things to themselves and see what the difference is between them. So on the left I have 5 crop seasons. In the middle I have 1 crop season. And on the right we are comparing the difference. Now 84% is 5% better and 8% is 5% worse in those two comparisons. And you can change that number in that legend anytime you want. For instance, now 73% of the field is 10% better and 7% is 10% worse. And simply X out of that if you need to when you are completed. Also, you get directions. If you needed directions to a specific field, clicking on that arrow there in the middle of the information tab. Now, we often wonder what happens with our files when they come from the machine and go into our website. Well, they show up in the Files section under the 3 dots. In the Files section, I have the opportunity to share or assign that file with trusted third parties. So if I need to send a file to an agronomist or to an insurance agent, perhaps a nutritionalist, they will create their own account on MyJohnDeere.com, and they will be able to then receive those files from you as you send them to the appropriate trusted third party. Again, in John Deere's world, you are in charge of your data, not John Deere. If we click on organization, this is where we set up our third parties. So there is staff, and that would be people who work for the operation, and then partners. These would be the trusted third parties, such as a John Deere dealer, your agronomist, your nutritionalist, whoever you feel needs to have access to this information. And you are in charge of how they receive that information. We also have a tools option in the operations center. If we click on that, we see we have the ability to print out some agronomic reports. Clicking on that will allow us to select a crop season and what type of report you would like. As you can see, we can look at all of our either seeding or harvest or application maps, and those are the available crop seasons that we have. We can select a specific crop type if we would just like to look at a report for that specific type or even a specific variety within that crop. We do also have the ability to get into JDLink.com. Now in JDLink, we are going to have machine health for the machine that you specifically point out. Now when you sign in with your organization, only your machines are going to show up in this section. You can get map location, alerts. You can set it up for red alerts or red and yellow, or however you want to set that. Setting the alert parameters will allow us to get specific machine alerts sent to us when there are problems with that machine. You can also set it up so that your John Deere dealer receives the same information at the same time, hopefully allowing you to reduce downtime and increase uptime so that we can stay ahead of any potential problems that may occur. We have the option of looking at different time frames for your machine. Right now we're set to a rolling 12-month schedule. For this particular combine, we can see average fuel rate, DEF consumption rate, period fuel consumed, DEF tank level, fuel tank level, period DEF consumed. So again, whether you want to look at yesterday's information or the lifetime of the vehicle or what it did this crop season, you can specify that out through the parameters. It also has the machine speeds for your combine, so last reel speed, cleaning fan, feeder house, harvesting ground speed, reel speed, and threshing speed. Whether you can't remember your settings from the last time you were in it, or you're wondering what the hired person is using for their settings, you can check in on them at any time you'd like. As you can see, there's also threshing clearance, sieve clearance, and chaffer clearance. We can see how long we ran auto track, how long the header height switch was active, all sorts of different things if you can monitor on the operation of your machine. And there's period engine hours, so again, right now we're set to a rolling 12 months, so that's how many hours are on it in the last 12 months. And one of the best charts is this machine utilization by state. You can tell the percentage of time where a machine has been idle with the grain tank not full, idle with the grain tank full, unloading while not harvesting, harvesting and unloading, and everything else you see below there. So you can really get a good snapshot of how much utilization you are getting out of your machine. So again, with JD Link Connect, we are getting the ability to do wireless data transfer, remote display access, and also machine health information for your operation. And all of that information is yours, and you are in charge of it, and it is very secure and private. And we thank you for your time here today.